Hello and welcome to my meditation. I am delighted that you have joined me today. My name is Debra Baker and we are going to meditate for about 20 minutes just to relax and tune in to our higher powers, tune into the infinite, and maybe learn something about ourselves. Let's begin with our 3 really nice deep breaths. So you want to breathe in as deeply as you can, and then slow your exhale with each breath. Just slow it down just a little slower than normal, but still fast enough to be comfortable. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want to put that request in because if I can get 100 subscribers, I can name the channel, which would make it easier for people to find me. And I don't know if you're listening to this on YouTube or Facebook, but I just feel like it would be easier, it would be something I could do for the people who want to find my meditations. Feel your shoulders settle down. Your neck grow a little longer. Maybe roll your neck a few times and get the kinks out. I like to begin by relaxing our bodies, because if your body's tense or you're feeling uncomfortable in any area, it makes it harder to relax, to meditate. And we're going to focus a little on self-love and loving our inner self, loving our inner child. So let's imagine this kind of spiritual energy just kind of raining down into the tops of our heads. And it's this wonderful energy. Right now I am outside. It is November in Kansas, and we just had this gift of a few really nice warm days. I'm so elated and grateful to have this. Even though I'm ready for the cooler weather and I love the change of the seasons, there's something nice about being able to take a nice deep breath and not feel the chill in your lungs just yet. There's not a whole lot of nature sounds. There's some construction sounds and an airplane, but I still love the sounds of the outdoors. You'll hear Daisy wandering around. Daisy, my dog. So now that energy, that magical, healing, relaxing energy is moving down. Feel it around your eye sockets. Feel your eyes become like pools. Feel it move all the way through your face. Erase all expression from your face. Feel it around your ears, around the sides and back of your head, to your jaw, your lips, your teeth, your tongue, into your atlas, which is that top vertebrae where your spinal column meets your skull. And then moving down your vertebrae, or your spinal column, one vertebrae at a time. Moving into your neck. Feel your neck relax. Your collarbone, your shoulders, the tops of your arms. Feel it move into your chest and your heart space. Your upper back, your shoulder blades. Loop your shoulders around a couple of times just to kind of loosen them up, and again, let go of any kinks. Feel it move through your heart space, through your chest and your rib cage, down the tops of each of your arms, into your elbows, your lower arms, your wrists, your hands, down each finger and thumb, one knuckle at a time, to the tips of each finger and thumb. At the same time, having moved all the way through your rib cage, now into your midsection. Breathe deeply into your belly. Excuse me. Your lower back, or your middle back, your sides. Feel it moving into your lower back, your hips, your hip bones, your lower torso, your gut, all the way down through your pelvis to your tailbone. And this energy can do for us things that we might never have imagined, like just allowing us to let go of thoughts that we're holding in our bodies, memories that we're holding in our bodies, wounds that we're holding in our bodies. So feel it move to the tops of your legs, into your tailbone, and completing that connection that you started at your atlas all the way down to your tailbone. And that energy is going to continue to move through your spine, relaxing your spine. And of course, with anything that moves through our spine and our spinal cords, it sends messages out to our whole bodies. So our whole bodies are relaxing deeply, deeply, deeply. And now be aware of it at the tops of your legs, at your hip creases, moving down your thighs, the large muscles of your legs, into your knees, through your knees, into your lower legs, your calves and your shins, into your ankles and your feet, all the way down to the soles of your feet and the tips of your toes. And this energy will continue to move through your body. All through this meditation. So as we are relaxing our bodies and letting our thoughts go, if a thought comes in, just entertain it for a moment and then let it go. Like if you were watching a leaf float by on a river, or a bird fly by in the sky, just let it go. And let's think about for a minute how we communicate with our higher power, with the infinite presence, the universe, whatever God, whatever your word for it is, divinity. How do you communicate? And more importantly, how do you hear God speak to you? I was joking with someone the other day that it's not so interesting that I talk to dead people as that they talk to me and that I hear them. And it's been through a process of becoming aware of what they were saying. And there's a real parallel with hearing God, with hearing the voices of your spirit guides, guardian angels, which are just God speaking through other beings. And how do you know divine guidance? How do you recognize it? For one thing, it makes you feel more peaceful. If you feel like there's something you should do, and I really do not like the word should, but if you feel like there's something you should do, notice if you feel like you should do it because you'll feel better afterward, or you should do it because almost like it's a punishment. I don't know that other than, some really extreme physical workouts. Most of the shoulds ought to feel like a punishment. And usually with some sort of physical workout, after you get started on it or after you complete it, you feel good about it. But if whatever this is you feel like you should do is because somebody else is urging you, you need to speak up, or you need to say something, or you need to do something, tune in. Just stop for a moment. Take a deep breath. And that's huge. Every time we stop and take a deep breath, we allow our whole systems to just reset. Stop and take a deep breath and say, God, universal life force, spirit guides, maybe you know your spirit guides by name. Is this really mine to do? And I'll share a little story they're telling me. There was something that I felt like I needed to tell some people that I was pretty close to, and it was something about me that was pretty important that I hadn't shared with them before, and it was my own private thing. I didn't need to share it. It wasn't something I owed them, but I thought maybe I should, and so I kept asking my spirit guides, okay, if I'm supposed to do this, if this is for my highest good and their highest good, create the opportunity. And so we had this dialogue with my spirit guides where I said, I'm willing, willingness is important. I'm willing to listen to the guidance of the infinite and follow it. But I need you to meet me halfway. So I had this opportunity. I was in a car with just the two of them, and I thought, okay, here's my opportunity. My spirit guides have created the opportunity. And each time that I opened my mouth to speak, one of them would say something really negative or hateful about someone, people we knew in common. And after 3 attempts, I literally opened my mouth to speak, and some, really unkind words were coming out of one of their mouths, and I thought, okay, this is Spirit's way of saying, no, this is not yours to tell them, and you were willing, you showed up, you were willing, which I was, and that yet I ended up not telling them, and I felt very much at peace with that because I had shown up. I had met Spirit halfway. So as we hear those sirens in the distance, let's just take a moment to send happy energy. There's no time and space on the other side, so you will see this meditation in the future, and yet you can still send the energy to whomever is being helped by those emergency vehicles. So we ask for guidance and we follow it, and we are open to other ideas. And in my book I talk about how do you know? How do you talk to Spirit, and how do you know you're getting information? I obviously wrote a whole book about it. But other than that it feels better, that it feels right in your heart, is that things align. That things work out so that this is yours to do. So it requires an ongoing discussion, asking your guides and then listening for information. And maybe hearing the information with, a word that's spoken on the television or on the radio, or that someone calls you at just the right time. Or, somebody mentions somebody's name. They show up in your dream, or they show up in your time history on, in social media. We feel more peace the more that we trust, and we develop trust by communicating with the infinite. So another way that I feel like sometimes our spirit guides, certainly our subconscious, communicates with us is through dreams. So I got some guidance about today's meditation in my dream this morning, and I think dreams are sometimes our subconscious way of working through things, and sometimes they are guidance. They're not always indicators of things that will happen. About a year before my father passed, I had a dream that he was going to die, and it was very disturbing because I was very, very close to him. I didn't even want to entertain the possibility that someday he would die, even though obviously we all do. But I just paid attention, and my brother had the same dream on the same night. and 3 more family members had the same dream. And so it was really a wonderful way for Spirit to give us a year to prepare to let him go. And so in that case, my dream did come true. It did happen, but a lot of times I've had dreams that didn't happen. I had a dream that I was going to be in a horrific car accident one time. And I was extremely careful when I did a cross-country drive the next day, and I didn't get into an accident. And so it could be that I was extra cautious and I was able to prevent that. I don't know. But I would say if you dream something, don't take it too seriously, but pay attention to it. In other words, don't have a panic attack over it. Don't get overly stressed, but make note of it. So last night, in my dream, this morning, it was a lovely dream, and that I was somewhere as myself, my age, and there was a baby, and the baby was me. And so that told me that during our meditation today, we are going to have that visualization. So I suggest, as you are settling in and relaxing, that you imagine that you are somewhere and you see a bassinet, or a baby carriage or a crib, whatever you want your baby to be in yourself. And then you go over and you look and you realize that this baby is you. So I suggest first thing you notice is, are you sleeping? Are you as baby you asleep, awake, crying, looking around? In my dream, my baby me was wide awake and just looking around. And so I picked her up and I held her. And so I suggest that you see baby you and you pick up your baby self and hold this precious baby, to your shoulder. Maybe turn and smell that sweet baby head and touch the sweet soft baby hair, or maybe you were bald, soft baby head. And you just love on that baby. And maybe you bring it out in front of you and you hold it and you look at it and you look into the eyes of that baby. And you just send unconditional love and you marvel. And if the baby was crying, you comfort that sweet, sweet baby. It's okay. I'm here now. I love you. I'm here for you. And just imagine yourself as the adult, loving this baby, and then yourself as the baby, feeling all of that unconditional love, feeling safe in those arms, sinking in, just becoming heavy in those sweet arms. So much of this experience is nonverbal. It almost can't be expressed. It needs to be just felt. So I suggest, if this short meditation wasn't long enough for you to really experience loving infant you, and infant you feeling unconditional love and acceptance, and celebration, and welcome, I suggest, if this wasn't long enough, that, throughout the next few days or weeks, every once in a while you just stop and think and imagine yourself holding that sweet, sweet baby on your shoulder and smelling that sweet baby head and touching that soft, soft baby skin. And feel that unconditional love coming to you, through you, for you. Thank you for joining me today. I invite you to just allow this to be the beginning of a deep, deep, deep self-love. The planting of a seed of a newer and deeper level of self-love and self-appreciation than maybe you've not had before. And know that through this meditation, I am sending you unconditional love and acceptance. The infinite spirit in me loves, honors, recognizes the infinite spirit in you. Namaste.